Morning, everybody. Very good to see everybody. So I want to say thank you to our YouTube audience this morning. We appreciate you joining us in this sacred energy of circle this morning. And today you're going to be able to watch our evidential mediums at work. And today we have Adrienne, Elise, Alyssa, Joann, and myself as we connect with people who have crossed over to the other side and deliver messages from them. And we hope that by watching our mediums work, you'll come to understand that the loved ones you may have lost are still with you. So please join us as we open with a prayer. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Please help us to open all of our senses, physical and spiritual, so that we can receive your messages without interference from our own minds. We humbly ask that you make this circle an uplifting and joyous experience for everyone in attendance. Please ask the spirits who recognize the voices in this room to join us this morning so that we will know that they watch over us, love us, and protect us still. And please allow us to deliver the information presented by Spirit with grace and compassion, in complete trust and respect of your infinite wisdom. Amen. All right. And since we have a smaller room today, how about if we do shorter readings and everybody go twice? Would that be fun for a change? Okay. So let's do 7 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and set up a timer, 7 minutes each reading. Okay. There we go. All right. And whenever anybody gets a link, just hop on in there. Joann, thank you.
So all I have is someone playing basketball and is really, really good at it. It's sort of like the Globetrotters, bouncing a ball in between their legs and everything. And w- so I feel this person was really gifted at playing basketball. I'm hearing like Globetrotters with this. And I feel this is very significant. And okay, I'm going to stop right there because this Globetrotters basketball feels very significant. Does anyone understand going to see the Globetrotters or something similar to that? Okay, I'm gonna Elise.
I did not go see them, but I loved them as a child. I always watched them on TV.
Okay,
Both of my
okay,
kids were really good basketball players in school.
okay, thank you.
That's all I know.
Okay, thank you. There's something to do with watching the Globetrotters and also this, I feel like the spirit was also good at sports. And they keep on showing me like an arena, like a or a basketball court. And okay. And now they're showing me the bleachers. And in the bleachers, they're showing me you sitting there and watching a game. And I feel like it's a home game. That's what they're telling me, a home game. And they're giving me the vision of this is a home game, but I feel like there's a family member who is walking through the door of the gym and he's very animated and they're coming in to support your family. That's the energy I'm getting, and he's very animated. Would you understand someone who would come in and support and be very animated, like
Yeah,
very animated? And
yeah.
but animated and supportive. And it's interesting because I feel that he would have grabbed this ball and would say like this is how you do it, like the basketball, and would take it and demonstrate that. I feel with I'm getting the sense with your daughter. Um and this energy that I'm feeling, and I'm getting a better sense of him. uh, Would you understand that would be your brother coming in the door?
No, it's not.
No? Okay.
No,
Would it be brother like, an energy like brother like?
I would understand that.
Okay, okay, thank you.
But
And but I feel that very supportive and animated. He just keeps on going back to that. Very can be very charismatic. Um
yes,
but he's sharing with me very good sportsman like character. That's very specific about him. Um he's also sharing with me he loved all different kinds of sports. Would you know that about him, Elise?
no,
Okay. Okay.
if I'm not with the right person.
Do you know? Okay. Give me. He just keeps on showing me the basketball. He's like, and throwing basketball, hoops.
My daughter was good at a lot of sports.
Okay. Yeah.
But
And hmm. I'm hearing it's interesting. I know we have an Adrian in our circle, but like um and I know Lisa's taken a lot of this, but can anyone else take this information as well?
I can take a name like Adrian. It's not Adrian, but
Okay, okay. Because I really he had me like want to say that, and okay. So would you understand the person I have?
I think so.
Okay,
Except
okay.
him
I'm gonna
liking a lot of sports. That's the only thing I don't
okay, okay.
understand.
Let me go for a message. It's interesting. He's going having good sportsman-like conduct. Um, and it's referring to the game of life and having really good sportsman conduct through life. And I'm going to leave you his love with you. That's interesting.
Thank you. Well, that was out of left field. Would you like any feedback?
Sure.
I told you at the beginning, the basketball, the kids, that
Uh,
um, but it's interesting. It's my dad who only came to one of my daughter's games. I mean, so it was very significant that he showed up. And he was very animated. Very, his whole life, he was very animated and the brother-like, he and my brothers were brother-like because of the age.
Okay.
We have all these age gap things, but anyway.
Okay.
And in our family, there's an Andrea,
Oh, okay.
not Adrienne.
Okay. I think it was easier for him because I knew the name Adrian. Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Elise. Thank you. And it was interesting. I didn't pick up the relationship, but that's
I know the
interesting.
Globetrotters, that's very interesting. I mean, because we never watched it together at
Mhm.
all. I mean, but I did. I just loved them. I always loved them as a kid.
Yeah. Okay. He knows that about you.
Thanks.
Wow, that's a great way to start a reading. Um, all right, thank you, Joanne. Who wants to go next? Adrienne, thank you.
Okay, so I'm getting some interesting stuff. We'll see where this goes. The first thing I get is the name Joe, and then I'm getting kind of like Joe references, I guess, or like the like what do you know, Joe? Like that saying, and then like Cup of Joe. So I feel like it's more to do with the name. Um, and then I see either a charm bracelet or a bracelet with like something on it that would kind of hang or dangle. Um, So I want to throw that out there. And then I feel like that I have a male in spirit and he is Mr. Fix-It. And I feel like I'm seeing tools. And then I see like a pickup truck and having like the toolbox in the bed of the pickup truck. Um, and then the last thing he gives me is like something to do with a white or light colored cat. And I almost want to say it reminds me of kind of like a Siamese type or something. Um, Does anybody understand any of this so far, Joanne and Elise?
Yes.
Do you guys both understand all of it or yes? Okay, let me keep going.
I do. But not the pickup truck, but everything else.
Okay, okay. So I understand like like the toolbox that people will put on their truck.
I understand the pickup truck and the toolbox.
Okay, okay. Would you also understand something to do with like cards or playing cards with this man? Because I feel like I'm seeing like the deck of cards being laid out.
I understand a deck, but well, anyway.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay. Let me see what else I can get. Okay. Would you understand something to do with math or like math equations or something? Like I feel like I'm seeing numbers all of a sudden. And I'm seeing like different like math equations and uh math problems. Like, yeah.
I understand numbers with them.
Okay. Okay.
Figuring out number.
And I also want to say it feels okay. Would would you understand something to do with like a home business or like his own type of business?
I understand the home, home business.
Okay. Okay. Because he's kind of giving me the reference to like tax time and I feel like I'm seeing, like the receipts and like all of that kind of thing. Like you know how you can have like the receipt book and like you'll keep a copy type of thing and like that's what I'm seeing is like all the different copies. Um and I feel like that's kind of the math coming in too. Because it feels like in regards to like whatever the business or something. Um yeah, like it feels like it's all kind of business related, I guess, is what I'll say with that. Um, okay. Would you also understand with this man something to do with yarn? Like I'm seeing balls of yarn. So I don't know if that is like I'm not seeing anything being done with it. Like actually it's like when you see them in a ball and then it kind of if it were to spill out or something and roll out, and like the string would kind of go.
Yeah, in a strange way. Yeah, this is, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Strange
you.
story, but yes, I do, I think.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And just to kind of check in, Joann, are you out now? Because I didn't hear.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just
Okay.
listening after that. I mean, I can take the initial, a lot of what you said and the very, yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'll kind of just focus in with Elise, but definitely keep listening. Joann, please. So let me see here. Would you understand something to do with chocolate? And I almost want to say like Hershey's bars or something like that. Like he's showing me chocolate all of a sudden.
Um, yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's like breaking it off rather than, like some people might just bite it. Like I feel like breaking it off into the different little pieces.
Yes, yes.
Um, and it feels like having like one little bar one at a time, or one little piece of the little mini bars inside of it, like one at a
Yeah,
time.
right, yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Um, okay. So are you pretty certain on who this person is?
Yeah,
Because I'll kind of lean
absolutely.
in.
Yeah. At first, there were two Joes, but yes, I know exactly who it is.
Okay. So let me kind of lean in and see what messages he has today. Wants to say hello. Like that comes out first. Um, and there's something about the cats, and I know I just saw your cat, Mike, I
Yes.
believe.
Right.
Um, but it's something about like you being kind of like the mother. Like I feel like the mother hen of these animals, and I don't know. He's just coming in, kind of talking about that, and like he has a lot of respect for what you do because I feel like there's a lot of animals that you've had over the years. Like I don't feel like it's just uh
Yes.
the one cat. And so he's like talking about, like you're kind of like a mother hen of sorts to these animals. And like, yeah, he gives a lot of like love and props to that. Um, and I feel like when he comes around, like he might mess with the animals a little bit. So I don't know if you have more than one or if it's just one, but
Mhm.
I feel like when they're acting kind of weird or strange, or like they're kind of like running off or that's him kind of messing with them, like playing around. Um, so yeah, I feel like he's just kind of coming in to say hello and sending love. Like not any like huge message, but that's it.
That would make sense. Thank you.
Yeah,
Again.
thank you.
Would you like feedback?
Sure.
Joe? Um, he had a pickup truck. I used to ride around the truck with him. He had tools. My brother, so he was a family friend, but anyway, the whole thing works together. His business, he worked for my grandfather, but he also built our home. He was like the do-it-all kind of guy, but he built our home. So, the numbers in the business and all of that. And so in that, he knew my brother who had a white cat, kind of Siamese looking white cat. And it's very interesting. The deck of cards, I got deck out of that, not cards, but because down here with the yarn, it was really weird. We took this long trip on a boat, a very large boat in the Gulf. It was rough. We came in at a dock somewhere along the way. Um, Bizarre but true. My mother had crocheted at one point a bathing suit, top and the bottom. This was back in the 70s, early late 60s even. And so he's in this tub on the deck of this on this dock in my mom's bathing suit, taking a shower. I'm like, oh Lord, save us all. I don't know. But anyway, it was a strange group. So that's what, I don't know. It was all a joke, anyway, one of those. And the chocolate, I was just looking at my granddaughter. She called yesterday. She had chocolate all over her face, but I also keep chocolate bars in the refrigerator and I break them off into those little pieces. So yes, and lots of animals my whole life. So thank you.
Thank you.
Adrienne, I have a quick question. Did I understand you to say that Spirit told you that he was messing with Elise's animals?
Yeah. Yep.
So that happens from the other side. They'll contact animals, or you know.
From my understanding, yeah. Or,
Okay,
like I was seeing him kind of like poking and prodding and then like the cat, like taking off or something. Like the cat's just sitting there and then him going up and kind of like pushing or, and then it's like going the opposite direction, like that kind of thing.
and do you notice, Elise? Do you notice that kind of reaction?
Hey, the other day, and probably sitting here one morning, I have a deck outside this window here in front of me. My cat is, as y'all know, is very old. He's 19. Anyway, he just ran across my deck. I'm like, wow, okay then. So it might have been one of those times. He doesn't have it in him, but he did.
That's
So
awesome.
there you go. It's like that,
That's good to know. All right, great job, Adrienne. All right, Elise or Alyssa, who would like to go next? Alyssa, thank you.
I'll go. Thank you so much. So I feel like I'm joined by a woman in spirit who's bringing me to the upper loft of an old house. And I understand that it's a lifted loft. So there's kind of a slant to the roof. But she's showing me an accordion. And I feel like it's a smaller accordion, almost more like a travel size one. And I feel that you as children, this feels like a grandmother, but I feel like you as children, you and your siblings, I feel like there's two siblings would have played with this. And it feels like this upper portion of the house is the guest space, but it feels like it's kind of dusty and creaky, and it doesn't feel like people like to spend a lot of time there. Okay. So I've got that piece. And then the other piece that comes in is that this woman herself was just a very humble, can do anything type of woman. And she's referencing that somebody in the family would have hiked a portion of the Appalachian Trail. Okay, so I'll put that out to folks and see if this is resonating.
I'm listening.
Okay, great, Carol. Thank you. Okay. So so it's funny because I feel like she's smaller in build. And as
Yes,
she moves through her house, it's like some of the ceilings of the house feel quite small. I feel like I'm still in this like upper portion of the house because it feels like she has to duck a bit because it feels like some of the beams are exposed. Would you recognize that?
yes.
Okay, great. All right. And I also feel like an older world ethic with her. Would you understand that she would have been born in another place?
I don't know.
Okay, interesting. I want to say that yeah, with this feeling of her being of humble means, she knows how to make big things from little things. That's what it feels like.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I want to say it's like she gives me the stew pots. Would you understand? A lot of stews.
Yeah,
And she's saying that like that's the way that you feed your family was that, you cook the bones. You cook the bones, you cook the ends of the carrots and the onion peels and all of that. And
right.
that's how you make it by. Okay. Um, this is interesting. She's also referencing that there would be a person in the family who I want to say worked for a telecommunications company, worked on the telephone towers or cell towers or electrical towers.
I'd have to think about that.
Okay, excuse me. I feel like there's a man that she's referencing for that. And it
Okay.
feels like it would have been her son. I want to say I see him driving in a truck with other men, and it feels like they do repair work.
I'll ask. Yeah,
Okay, all right.
verify that after.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. Let me see what else she's sharing. I want to say too that there would be a creek or a body of water not too far from the house.
correct.
And as kids, it's like I feel like you guys walk there, you know what I mean? And you would have long stretches of the afternoon, like playing in the water and catching frogs and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, awesome. And I want to also say too, would you understand that she's also telling me that that she would have had bikes at the house for you guys? She would leave them there?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, because I want to say I see them leaned up against the side of the house. And it's funny because I have the feeling as little kids, it's like even as you've kind of grown beyond the size of the bike, it's like the bike has stayed the same, and then it's, your knees are like, they're like extending way more than, they're not sized anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like you're still riding. Okay. Okay. Um, I understand with her too that she would have passed. It feels like respiratory issues.
Yes.
Okay, because she's bringing that in, and I know that it was a challenge for her towards the end. Her breathing was real. It was a struggle. Okay,
Right.
and I want to say she's really thankful that the family really came to be supportive, and I want to say your mother was a big part of that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. And yeah, because I see with your mom, it's like she's like holding her hand, she's bringing her the things. I feel like she's keeping her warm. She's bringing blankets over to her. Because I have the feeling that your grandmother would have been, cold at the end. That's what she's sharing with me. Would you understand Hetty? Hetty?
Uh,
Hetty, the name?
I understand an H name.
H name. Okay.
Mhm.
But then it's funny because I feel like she goes by a different name, but then there's almost somebody who adds the IE to the end of the name. It's like one of the nicknames or shorthands for her name.
Yeah. That
Okay.
the IE is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, because she's bringing that in, all right. And I know too that she was a religious woman. Would you
Yes.
understand that?
Mhm.
Would you understand? It's funny because it's like I see feels like brass candlesticks, and I see rosaries with her. Would you understand rosaries? It feels like religious, I want to say just like religious items in the house.
Religious items. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's funny because it's like I feel metal and I feel beads and I feel, glass and things like that. But there's a little touch of that in every room of the house. That's what it feels like.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. And then let me just see with you what she wants to acknowledge. Um, I have no idea why, but she brings in mushrooms, Carol.
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
Actually, I do understand
Oh,
that.
geez. Okay. I
Mhm.
just got this reference to mushrooms. This is weird. Would you understand that there's a festival, a mushroom festival around you guys too?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
Maybe
there's
she's
something about this like mushroom pot holders or mushrooms that you're cooking with or something. I don't know. She brings in mushrooms, okay?
okay.
And let me just say, and she's just incredibly supportive of you. You were, it's like I'm seeing you as a kid, and your eyes are just like she says, wider than your stomach. You were a good eater, and she always loved that, And the two of you had a great time together. I feel like you were
Yeah.
right by her side, and asking her all the questions, and she gave you good answers. But sometimes she was like, okay, go ask somebody else.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'll leave her with you, and I thank you for allowing me to connect.
Oh, that was fantastic. Thank you, Alyssa. Would you like some feedback?
Love it.
Okay, so you were 100% correct. That was my mother's mother. Okay, and what I found particularly fascinating about that was that you started off with the Appalachian Trail, which is a distinctly American reference. Okay, and she's not from America. Okay, which I find kind of fascinating, and I'd like to see if you got any like insights from that as to how she knew that. That was me that hiked it.
Right. Okay, got you. Because she just told me that somebody in the family hiked the Appalachian Trail, and I had the feeling that she was from another place.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I just saw the lacing up of the hiking boots and this kind of like intrepid quality of like going out on the trail, carving your own path. And that's what she was sharing. But because like for me in the States, at least, it's like I have the recognition that the Appalachian Trail moves through so many different states, like it's like one of the largest trails, and people will hike just small portions of it, and there's so many access points. So that's what she was just giving me. Like I saw that and I felt it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
That was a fascinating piece of information. And then the other thing that was kind of interesting was you specifically said, is there a mushroom festival
Yeah.
around? Well, when we were kids on our property, we used to forage for morels. Okay.
Cool.
And then, and now, okay, I'm looking for kind of like weekend road trips for my husband and I to do.
Yeah.
And I think what she's trying to tell me is that there's a mushroom festival
Oh,
somewhere around me that she wants me to check out.
oh,
Okay.
cool.
So I'm going to have to go look this up after we're finished here and
Okay.
see if there is indeed a mushroom festival, and I'm going to report back on it. So,
That's so
so
funny.
thank you for that. That
Cool.
looks
Thanks, Carol.
fantastic. So, all righty, Elise, are you feeling it?
Something, I'm feeling
All right.
something.
Thank you.
I thought I had a man here, but because I kept hearing Samuel. Oh, I saw, anyway, I don't know what I did. Samuel, I got Samuel. But then there's a lady. There's a lady, and I don't dare sing, but anyway, she's just singing this name over and over. In this very lovely, lovely voice, singing Samuel. Samuel, not just Samuel. Samuel, Samuel. Anyway, so she is singing and she's showing me herself. So I don't know. There seems to be two meanings here with the Samuel. Samuel. She keeps saying that. Samuel, not Samuel. Samuel. She's showing me herself on stage, singing, and she's giving reference to Mark Twain, who is Samuel something else, right? His real name is not Mark Twain. It's anyway, she's talking about Mark Twain. And Samuel. So she's singing this song, but she's part of their musicals. She's not just up singing. She's singing and saying and being part of these musicals. But there's also a Samuel in her life, Samuel, in her life. And she has this beautiful voice. She's showing me younger. She's got a long gown on. And she was in more than one production, she says. It wasn't just a single time she did this. Does anyone understand this lady so far? Can take any of this?
I can take the name and what they're showing you, something I've done.
Okay. So you can take the lady in spirit talking about Samuel?
Yes.
Okay. And she's not singing, you're singing,
Yes.
doing the production thing. Okay. And so do you understand this double meaning of the Samuel and Mark Twain, or there's a connection to like Tom Sawyer or Mark Twain?
Well, only that he's the only one that has a middle name in our family.
Okay. Samuel. She keeps she really likes Samuel.
Mhm.
And would it sound more like that than Samuel or?
Yeah, it would be Samuel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I wouldn't. Yeah, okay. Hey, yay. She's like, yoo-hoo. Yeah, she's happy to be here. She like she likes it here. She's been here before. She's been here before. You've been here before. She's very happy lady, very full of energy. Very happy. Lots of people around her. She's smaller lady. She's giving me the name Virginia all of a sudden, but it's more like Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach. Do you understand the name Virginia or Virginia Beach with her?
I don't know right now.
Okay. What else does she want to talk about? Okay, and did you say, I'm sorry, is Samuel in body or is he in spirit as well?
Spirit.
He's in spirit as well. Okay. Well, maybe that's they're both there. let's see, what is she doing? She's kind of very mischievous little thing. She's very sweet, she's very kind, but she kind of loves to play little jokes. She likes to play tease a little bit, not in any unkind way at all.
Mhm.
But she likes to joke and play and just have a good time. She just keeps the spirit high. She's in her kitchen. She's in her kitchen. She loves her kitchen. She loves her kitchen. And she does have she does sing and hum and make lovely sounds in there, she says, while she's doing that. Yeah, she likes the sound, she likes the music. She likes the music. She just keeps wanting to sing. She keeps singing. And she has many, oh, she's talking about 4. There's 4. She's talking about grandchildren, says she has many grandchildren, and then she gives me the number 4. And so I don't know if that's many or not many, but there's something about 4 and the children, 4.
She can be referring to someone in the family that has 4.
Okay, yeah, 4 and the children. What else? She just wants to cook and sing. She wants to cook and sing. So give me a specialty here. She's talking about tamales. Is she known for her tamales? She's talking about.
No, but I know what.
Why is she talking about tamales? Okay.
Yeah.
He's talking about tamales. Let's see, can we get out of the kitchen? She's outside. I'm trying to get her out of the kitchen. Can we just go somewhere? She's outside, but she's outside picking. I have such an itchy nose today. I know she has allergies, but something's happening. She's outside with her plant, picking like herbs, picking things that she cooks with. She's picking herbs, picking flowers. Picking flowers. Oh well, okay. Didn't get very far today. I will just leave you with her love.
Thank you. So that was my mother.
Okay.
Yeah. And so she was talking about my brother and the 4, my oldest sister has 4 kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she spent a lot of time in the kitchen, Elise. She
Oh,
loved cooking. She was an
yeah,
awesome
she
cook.
didn't leave the kitchen. I was like, well, show me something.
Oh yeah, no, she was an awesome, incredible cook. And so she would spend a lot of time in the kitchen, and that was her safe haven, like the kitchen. Yeah.
Okay.
But the picking part is she used to have to work on the farm. So
Okay,
it'd be picking,
okay,
picking strawberries, picking grapes, yeah. So that was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The
And
key
what
word
about
was
the music?
picking.
What
Hmm?
about the music and the singing or the
My
humming?
mother, well, she wished she could sing, but she would sing and hum and she'd play a lot of music. Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only thing she wanted to show me today. It's like music, cooking. That's it. All you get. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Nice job, Elise, but for the benefit of our YouTube audience, I want to point out something interesting about your reading. And that's the fact that Elise has had orbs flying around her all during this reading. And there's a video of this live stream that will be available on this site after we sign off. And I just encourage everybody to go back. There it is again. Okay. Everybody to go back and look at the the video of the live stream. And when you can see my timer wind down to about 1 minute, 30 seconds, on the right side of Elise's screen, you can see these 3 orbs just fly straight up. Okay. But they're all kind of all around her, all during this reading. So I'm going to go off in a different direction, Elise, and ask you about these orbs here. Can you explain to our listening audience what an orb is?
It's as far as I know, it's just spirit showing up in this energy form. And I saw kind of the last second here, because I never look at the screen, that my screen was going in and out or something. Was it not? Was it the connection was not good today? Did somebody say that?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so it's spirit energy, and they just choose that form in the moment for whatever reason, and they come sometimes and they don't sometimes, and they
Yeah, because that's the first time I've actually seen them on the live stream. It's not the first time I've seen them with you, but it's the first time I've seen them on the live stream. So again, if you're viewing the replay, go back to rewind it back to where my timer says about 1:30 remaining, and then you'll see the 3 big ones coming up on the right side of her screen. And then also after the timer's finished, she had a big one that was up by her ceiling fan. So, and it's kind of interesting to see. So thanks, Elise.
well, well, if I can add this, I just kind of looked that it was Joann that was, and I forgot, she was freezing a moment ago.
Yeah.
And they do that as well. You know, they play with the electrical. And so then I bring in her mom, and there's flying around. So there's some sort of something there that's happening, that she's freezing over there, you know, in her reading, and my orbs are flying around over here. So they mess with energy, you know, they do all sorts of things.
Yeah, somebody's messing with us, that's for sure. All right. I'm going to go ahead and grab a link here real quick. And all right. So I have a female energy coming in here. This feels, my first guess is grandma, and I'm going to go back and check on that. But she wants to complain, very, very opinionated. And she's talking about somebody in this room who knows a woman who has excessively long fingernails. Okay. So does anybody here know somebody who has well manicured hands, and they're particular about their fingertips? Joann. No, I know, but she's complaining. Okay. But these are like beyond a basic manicure. They're more leaning towards excessive. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the woman in spirit is complaining about that woman's fingernails. And I want to lean into this and see precisely what her issue is. And for the benefit of our listening audience, sometimes they do this, you know, that sometimes, you know, the information that comes down is not full of love and all of this stuff. They come in and talk like they would as if they were here. Okay, so she's talking about this woman's fingernails, and she's on a rant, and she's saying that she doesn't see how this woman expects to be able to work with these nails. Okay, and she's referring to them as ridiculous. Okay, and she's saying in her day, okay, that would not have been permitted, which is an odd choice of words. Okay, but she's saying it wouldn't have been permitted. You know, she's saying that women had to use their hands, and they were expected to work with those hands. And this, these fingernails, is completely useless. So might you know this woman who's ranting about the fingernails?
I might, yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I'm feeling more like a grandmotherly energy. This is older and more in traditional values. Would that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me lean into her a bit more. Okay. Yes, and so she's going back and she's showing me scenes from her own life. Okay. And she's kind of pretending that she has these big fingernails. Okay. And she's saying, look, how could you do this with these fingernails? And she's showing me things that she would have done. Okay. And specifically, I see her managing laundry by hand. Okay. And she's saying, how do you expect to be able to do this? Okay. How do you expect to be able to cook with this? Okay. And she's got these fake fingernails on, but what her she's trying to convey is it the fact that she did that kind of work with her hands where those fingernails just would not have happened. Okay, so you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Young women today. Okay. she's on a tear. Okay, and so that's evidential in itself. Okay, so she's just ranting about this woman and how crazy it is that she has these. This is interesting. She's talking about this woman driving, okay, and she's saying that she doesn't even know how she can have her hands on the steering wheel of the car, and she's kind of going like she has her fingers in an awkward position that she's implying that it would make it difficult to control the steering wheel. Would you know that?
I know about the driving and I know who she's referring to.
Okay. Thank you, Grandma. Well, all right. So, okay. And there's nothing else here, Joann. Okay, this is the sole purpose for her visit is to come in and complain about your friend's fingernails. Okay. All right. And she says it's the stupidest thing she's ever seen, you know, and you should tell her to cut those off. Okay. And I will leave you that with light and love. And thanks for letting me serve spirit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's all right. So that was my mother again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she has a lot of sides to her.
Okay.
And the fingernails are my daughter, her granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
And I'm always saying that's ridiculous. How can you have those nails that long?
Oh no.
And she wouldn't have approved it either.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And the driving was very significant. Like, yes, me teaching how to drive. She got her driver's license though, but yes.
She got
Yes.
her
And
driver's
I would
license.
always say about her nails, how can you do this? I mean, those nails are ridiculous. How can you, that would be me telling her that.
Oh, okay. So
But
mom
she would
agrees
agree.
with you. She agrees with you then.
Yes.
Okay. That's the whole purpose of that. Okay. Oh, well, thanks for that validation from the other side, mom. Oh my goodness. That's funny. All right. Well, we have time for another reading from everyone. Okay. If you're feeling it. You want to try again, Joann? You were first last time.
Yeah, I just got a reading, so I need a minute. So I don't know if someone wants to go
Okay.
next.
Sure. Okay. And if somebody else can grab a link? Adrienne, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of felt this guy step in, so let's see where it goes. The first word I get is colt, and I don't know if that's in reference to the name or the horse, but then I'm kind of thinking horses, because I also see horses as well. And then I feel like I want to reference a cowboy, um, because I see him coming in wearing like the leather gloves, like the working gloves, and then there's something with a roping. And I feel like I'm seeing like the long sleeve shirts, like the Western kind of style shirts and jeans and cowboy boots. So like the, kind of typical attire you would think of like with the cowboy. I feel like I'm seeing more of like either like in the country or like on a ranch or like a farm or something. Like I feel like this is a place where it's kind of by itself. Um, and if there's other houses, I would say there's a big distance. Like there's distance between this place and other houses. Um, and I do kind of want to say also like there's a lot of like natural grass and like because it all looks kind of taller kept. Um, yeah. So okay, let me just check in and see if anybody can understand this so far. The cowboy in spirit.
I'm listening.
Okay, okay. Would you understand something with roping? Because I'm going back to that again, or using rope if it's not roping. Like I feel like
Using rope, yes.
okay.
Mhm.
Would you also understand something with like cattle? Because
Uh,
I want to say I'm seeing like calves or something and like roping at the feet, like roping them, like hog
Oh,
tying.
yeah, well, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I mean, not for him, but I understand it with him.
Okay.
Whatever, anyway.
Okay. Would you also understand, like, I almost want to say something like the rodeo because I feel like it's timed. It's
Right,
time to get them. Okay. Thank you.
I understand the rodeo.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Um, but I feel like this man's drawing me to an area that's very much hotter climate because I feel like doing this in the heat and doing this outside, like it's hard work anyways. And I feel like the heat brings an extra.
Yes, what he's talking about, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Would you understand the reference to something with like cow pies or something like I feel like I'm seeing like the manure, like the cow manure. Um,
Um, I understand manure, for sure.
and I almost want to say it's like I feel like I'm seeing him going and picking them up when they're dry or something like that. Like I don't
Yes.
know. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know what they do with them at that point, if it's fuel or what, I don't know. But okay. As long as you understand that. Thank you. Uh, would you also understand the reference to a name like a K name like Kevin?
I understand the K name,
Okay.
like Kevin.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Um, I just feel like he's kind of referencing about the hard work and the hard like nature of this job or this profession. Um, because I feel like it's like long hours, like sun up to sundown, and it's smaller reward a lot of times. Like I feel like the reward or the payout is like on the smaller side or little. Um, but I feel like the well, financially, but like the bigger side of that is the bigger reward of like I almost feel like a spiritual or like a
Yes.
really fulfilling.
Right.
Uh, okay. So that's kind of what he's saying. Like maybe the financial payout isn't as well, but like there's still reward from it in another way. Um, and there's something about all the land, and I feel like the oneness with the earth that he is talking about. It's
Yes.
just very freeing. It's very freeing.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's okay, he's kind of talking about like there's some things money can't buy, and this is one of those. And so I feel like he's kind of just talking about like it's almost like he's kind of saying, you know, he wishes more people could understand this, that some things in life are beyond the financial aspect. Um, Even though he understands and recognizes, like, yes, you have to have that to a point, but it's also like the passion and like the fulfillment. Um, and I think this is kind of part of the message that he wants to come in and talk about. But I feel like as a whole, like I don't feel like this is just individually. Like I feel like everybody could use a message like this, like finding your passion, connecting to the earth, really can bring in a lot of fulfillment. And I feel like that's what he's talking about is doing the things that really fulfill your soul. Even if the financial aspect isn't as great or as large or something like that. Because sometimes that's all you really need. That's
Yes.
all you really need in life. Uh, yeah. So with that, oh, okay, 40 seconds. I guess I feel I'm kind of pulling back. So I'll just leave this energy and all that love and that beautiful message. So thank you.
Thank you. Would you like feedback?
Sure.
This is my brother. They have horses and land, and he would, and he always, and he had gloves, working gloves. Um, and they did go to the rodeo often, like every year for a number of years, but it was in Houston, the Houston rodeo. So it is hot and it is all of that there. But there is a business, the K name is the family name, and that's the name of the horse business, with his daughter. Lots of hard work, and it's definitely spiritually rewarding. So I understand all that. Yeah, thank you. So I understand the message. All true.
Thank you.
Nice job, Adrienne. All right, Joann. All right, give it a go. Thank you.
Hope my camera doesn't freeze up, but I think I'm with Alyssa, but everyone listen, please. Because this gentleman, just a strong feeling. The reason why I felt like I was with you, Alyssa, was this gentleman, and he was tall, but he was, his presence was there, and he showed me holding a baby. And it was like, I feel it's father energy. Would you understand that? Or a grandfather? I just feel like it's definitely, I can't hear you, Alyssa. You're muted.
It could be a grandfather.
Yes. I feel this gentleman is tall and thin. Would you understand that about him? Being
Yes.
tall and thin? Okay. He's coming in. And so the feeling I get with him is that the longing, but it's wanting to be there for you. That's the feeling I'm getting. Wanting to be here for you. And he just keeps on showing me him holding the baby and cradling her. And
Mm.
what I'm hearing is, names can be really tricky, but I hear Antonio, like Antonio.
Mm.
And then I feel like Antonio Arthur. I don't know.
Mm.
Would you understand the sounding of those names? Because sometimes names can be really
Well,
tricky.
Arthur is my dad's name.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you. And he's now, it's interesting. He's is your father a fuller figure? I don't feel like he's like built like your grandfather.
No.
Okay. He's bringing someone else in, and I'm trying to figure out who
Okay.
this person is, if he's showing me someone living or past. But with your grandfather, he's sharing with me that he liked baseball. Would you understand that around your grandfather? Thank
Yes.
you. And I'm hearing the music. Take me out to the ball, or take me out. And he's now showing me an image, or a memory of him in a baseball cap and him throwing a baseball, a memory that he had. And I feel it's you on the other end. And would you understand that memory with your grandfather?
I'm trying to remember. I know that he
Okay,
would
you
play
were
catch
little.
with
You were
people.
very
Yeah, I
little.
know that he would play catch with people.
Okay, okay, that's the memory he's showing. And with that, show me grandchildren. I feel I feel you have a brother, and your brother was very. Do you have a brother, Alyssa? Because I'm feeling like he's showing me a brother.
Yes.
Okay, and he was very he was very active. I'm feeling he's like running around. That's what he's showing me. And I feel that your grandfather caught his attention when he would throw the ball. That's the memory I'm getting with
Okay.
him. But he did show me throwing a ball to you, but very little.
Okay.
And he showed me the memory of your brother. Tell me, he's very feisty. That's what I'm getting. Very feisty.
It's funny.
And he's now showing me another memory. It's interesting. Like, I'm getting smoking, like smoking a pipe with him. Would you understand that, Alyssa?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And he's also showing me he had his favorite chair, I think most, and he had like it's interesting because he's showing me this favorite chair that he has, but he had to have everything like in its place also, the way he was. Like he's showing me like an ashtray here, and then like, everything had to be in its place. That's what he's showing me, and the feeling I'm getting. And I'm asking him if he'd like, I want him to give you a message.
Mhm.
Just feel like he's so proud of all your accomplishments
Mhm.
and the longing. I feel like there's a longing.
Mhm.
Um, um, I feel like he also had an accent. I'm getting an accent, like he spoke a different language. Because I'm getting like, would you understand that around your grandfather?
Um, I don't recognize the accent so much, but he did speak another language.
He spoke another language. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay. And he just keeps, I'm so proud of you, and you're doing such a fine job.
Mm.
And I feel that what he's sharing with me, he's going to be there every step of the way.
Oh,
And I wish I can go longer because he's wanting to bring all this information, like slowly warming up. But I'm going to leave his love with you. Thank you, Alyssa,
awesome.
for
Thank
taking him.
you. That was great. Yeah, so that's the grandfather that I named my baby after. So it was great to have him come in. And yes, he loved baseball. He had pipes. I have some of the ashtrays that were like nice glass that he's kind of that were handed
Oh,
down.
okay. That's what he was trying to show
Yep.
me.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
And definitely the favorite chair and needing everything in that space and yeah, another language. So all of that was spot on. And
thank
he
you.
was very close with my brother too. So
Okay.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
That connection there too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice job, Joann. I actually have a question about that. Okay, because I found it fascinating that you came up with the name Arthur, which I I don't think I've ever met an Arthur, and that is such an uncommon name. So how did you come up with Arthur? Can you explain that to our
Oh, I said two
audience?
names. It's going back to the clairaudient. Like I hear it, I just hear a name. And then I have to sort of trust spirit that that's the name. And sometimes it's the sounding of a name. But yes.
What do you mean by the sounding of the name? Can you
So
explain it?
that's the hard part is that I don't hear it on the outside, but I hear it like it's sort of like what they call clairaudient. Am I correct? And I just hear the name. And it's always been that way. Like it's sort of okay, so it's sort of similar like have you ever heard or think that someone's calling your name and then you're like you shout out, "Did you call my name?" And the woman says no. It's
Yeah.
that same feeling. It's like you know it. You heard a name. That's the only way I can explain it.
So
Yeah,
what that implies to me is that many of the people who are watching this video may have had clairaudient experiences themselves then.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
Mm.
All right, we have Alyssa and Elise who'd like to go.
Right. I can go if that's
Thanks, Alyssa. Go ahead.
I actually feel like this is for Elise. So, I feel like I've got a couple people here and they're kind of coming in together, but I want to start out because I feel like I have like your mother and father in spirit, and they're both bringing in different pieces, but they're talking about kind of like your grandchildren, so your current, your grandkids, because I understand that that the kids and the grandkids in your family are very active, and there's a lot of sports connection, there's a lot of activities that they're involved with, because he gives me, I want to say your father gives me your granddaughter who's involved in acrobatics, gymnastics.
So I understand that.
And then would you also understand that there's a grandchild of yours who's into figure skating or skating?
Same child.
Okay, great. All right, because they're referencing them. And then it's funny because there's other grandchildren who are into dance, and I want to say competitive dance.
Same child.
Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. Okay. Um,
That's,
okay, that's great. Okay, and with your I'm sorry, with your father, he's also talking about he's bringing me to scenes at the diner together, because I know that you would have gone out to breakfast with him, okay? And I'll go with your father first, okay? Because he's telling me about the ribeyes or the steak and egg breakfasts, because that would have been one of his favorites. Would you understand that?
I understand ribeyes. I don't
Yeah,
think it.
because he's bringing me
I probably
ribeyes, and
did
I want to
breakfast.
say,
I'm sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I feel like he's talking about like a thicker cut of meat with breakfast.
Yeah. Um. Yes.
Okay, all right. And it's funny because I know that with your father, he would have had a bit of like a spotty relationship. That's what he's saying, spotty relationship. There were things that were troubling about him.
With
He
me.
wasn't always, yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't always on good terms with everybody, but I want to say that
Yeah.
you were the apple of his eye in a lot of ways, and I feel like you were the only girl, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so it feels like it- he makes more of an effort to be soft with you. And at the same time, you're one of the guys.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. This is interesting too, because I understand that your father would have actually taught you how to fix things. Would you
Um,
understand that? I feel like I feel like I'm seeing the bottom of a boat or something being sanded on the boat.
yeah, there was that.
And I feel like you're right there in tow with him, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, for
And then
sure.
Elise, he's also bringing me up. He's bringing me to a pair of roller skates, right? And they were the kind that you could attach to your shoe.
Um.
Do you remember those?
Yes.
Because I want to say he got those for you and he got them from a friend. Would you understand that they were hand-me-down skates?
No, I
Okay.
understand the skates, but I don't understand. No,
Okay, that's fine. Because I feel like, but I want to say that these skates got a lot of love. Like they were worn by many people.
probably.
Okay, because it didn't feel like they were just you, but they were, but I do see them as the ones that kind of like slide out and adjust
Yes.
sizing. Okay, great. Okay, because he's bringing that in. Okay. And would you understand that there was a period of distance between the two of you?
Yes.
Because it felt like when you moved to another state or he moved to another state, it felt like there was distance.
There was distance for sure.
Okay, all right, okay. And and your parents had split up. Would you understand that?
Mhm.
Okay. And so now it's like I feel like your mom is coming and it's the feeling that I get from her is that she just had enough. I'm sorry. Would you understand that? She had enough of his antics. That's what she tells
Yeah.
me. She said
Yeah.
I had enough of his antics. And she was a very good woman, very practical, very level-headed, and she was the counterbalance to him.
Yes, I would say that.
Okay. And would you understand that your father would have gotten remarried?
Yes.
Okay, because she's also acknowledging that. But you know what? Your mom actually respected the other woman. Would you understand that?
I guess so.
It felt well, this is what your mom is telling me that she actually respected her and she was also like good luck, It was like
Right. Yeah.
a feeling of good luck. But I do feel that the other woman, so um would have actually, she had her own merits. She had her own merits about her. And she had a family of her own from before.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So there's this real quality of like appreciating with you, Elise, from your father and your mother, the fact that there are so many members of the family. Like if there were to be a big family reunion, it's a lot of people. It's like 20 plus.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So they're recognizing that. And it's funny because I want to say, Elise, from your father, he's telling me that you've been finding people in the woodwork. That's what he says, finding people in the woodwork. You've been reconnecting to people who may be connected to the family, are connected to the family, have associations with the family, and you're kind of the figurehead. That's what I'm getting. You're the figurehead to bring people together. Okay. Elise, would you also understand? He's bringing me old coins.
Yes.
Would you understand the saving of the old coins? And it feels like the Indian head pennies and things like that.
Yes.
Okay, because he's bringing those in too. Um, let me see. I know I've just got 30 seconds. Um, they're coming in with a lot of love and appreciation for you. They say that you're genuine, you're true blue, and you kind of like you've always have been and you always will be. I feel like they're in your corner, okay? And then the last thing I'll just bring in for you. Would you understand the acid wash denim jacket?
Yes. I have. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's the last kind of image that they're bringing in. But they say go back to that feeling that you had when you were wearing that jacket, because I feel like it was a time when your kids were young and you were bold and brazen.
Funny. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, do you like any
Sure.
feedback? It is my mom and dad. Yeah, so that's funny. My granddaughter, she did like gymnastics when she was really little. But she does acro in her dance as well. She does
Cool.
compete. She loves to skate. She skates all over my house when she comes. Just roller
Cool.
skates. So that's funny. Yep. I don't know, all the other things. Yeah, there was spotty times and relationships. But I think I was the apple of his eye. But he was soft with me, but I was with one of the guys too, because I would hang out, whatever you said, in tow or something,
Yeah.
all of that. Yeah, saw that. They did divorce, he did remarry, she did have a family. Yes, so thank you.
All right, thanks, Elise.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. That was a great job, Elise. A lot of very specific information. All right, Elise, are you feeling it?
Well, I'm not feeling any one, but let's see what happens.
You can grab somebody.
Who is here and wants to speak? Carol? I'm Carol. It says Carol. So is there a Carol for Carol? Carol, do you know a Carol in spirit? Carol? Carol. No?
I don't know a carol in spirit, no.
Spirit, they're just saying Carol. Carol. Calling your name. Okay, no, I think it is for you though. She's calling. There's a lady, an older lady, and she's like standing at the door, standing outside or standing on her porch, standing. She's like, Carol. She's like calling you in as a child. Carol, come in. From playing outdoors, being outdoors. She's talking about you being outdoors. You were always outdoors. You were covered in mud and dirt and grass and I mean whatever was out there you were in. And you were into the mix of it all. Would you understand a woman in spirit doing this, calling you in from outside, playing and?
Could be more than one.
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, well, I have kind of that feeling in myself. Yeah, because in one place it feels generational, and one is like on a porch in an older house, an older white looking house, and then the other one is standing at a door in a newer, not this time, but anyway, newer time. Okay, so let's do one of these at a time. One time. And they're both very loving and very they love having you with them and having you around, but one is a little more strict than the other, or strict is even a harsher word, but one is a little more I'll just stay with strict. She's a little more like this.
Yeah, that's true.
Straighter or whatever that is. She's a little yeah, more serious, more whatever. And the other one was just, the other one allowed you more freedom. The other one allowed more freedom
Right.
to roam and to be outside. Because sometimes you would kind of roam too far, they said. They were like pulling you back in. Okay, is this mom? This is mom and grandmom?
That's correct.
And it's her mom?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. They're going like this. And so sometimes they were a little, like, not much, but there are little odds with you in how they did things. They would kind of not always agree on how to handle the same situation. They would do things a little differently. And grandma's like telling mom, well, you need to, she's like, Mom,
Yeah. Mhm.
I can do this. I know what I'm doing. So they're both laughing at that now, that that's not such a thing. And they had a good relationship. That's funny. I'm not sure what that is. There's a bump, but there's always a bump. But they had a nice relationship. In her youth, in her younger days, your mom's younger days. And your grandmother is a hardworking and hard. But she's a homemaker. She doesn't work outside the home. And she's working a lot with her hands, outside and inside. Do you understand that with your grandmother? She's very hardworking and a religious religious lady.
Yes.
She went to church every Sunday, and she's all dressed very nicely for church. She didn't slouch. You were to get dressed to go to church. She did that, and she kind of had like your grandfather. He's like pulling him by the tie or something. He's like kind of getting, come
That's
on,
about right.
go on now. Let's go get dressed. You're going with
All
me.
right.
So he wasn't too thrilled, but he did go. He's kind of rolling his eyes. Oh boy, okay, I'll go. And so they had a long lasting relationship, the grandmother and grandfather. They were always together and supportive, and she would kind of give him a hard time. She was kind of wore the pants in the house. She's saying, and he was a very gentle man, and he didn't mind. He didn't mind that she kind of directed things. Do you understand that about them?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it's okay. I know she's, but he would also kind of go and do his own thing anyway. She might fuss about it, but he'd still do it. But there wasn't like a lot of fighting at all about it. He would just kind of do it anyway, and she would kind of fuss, and he would just smile.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Smile, keep doing it anyway. It wasn't terrible things. That's not what I mean, but it was just excuse me. It was funny the way he had. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice. What is that? It's funny the way he handled her, he said. God, they're all here, I guess. Oh, those are the three. Oh, there was three a minute ago. Okay. Maybe these were for you, Carol. Yeah, he said he loved her dearly. But he knew how to handle her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so let's see. Now he's gonna what's he do too? He is working as well. Let's see, what is he doing? On the land. He's working on the land as well. Well, they all wanted to show up and just say one little thing. So there we go. They're all here, as you said, flying about. They're all here for you and sending lots of love and having fun. Like
That's
this is fun. They enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Thank you, Elise. That was absolutely perfect. When you were talking about, I could identify the relationship when you talked about the house, okay, because the White House with the porch was my grandmother's house. And so that's where I knew where, we were. And she lived in a very rural area. And when we were kids, it's not like kids today, where we could go out and we'd disappear at the crack of dawn and we'd be gone all day, and then we'd come back for dinner, and our parents just didn't think anything of it. And unfortunately nowadays, parents can't even let their kids out of their sight. It's completely different times, but she would stand on the porch and she would call people in for dinner, and this kind of thing. And you described her relationship with my mother and her relationship with her husband perfectly. So I thank you for that. Yeah, it was awesome.
They were all fun.
Yeah, it was beautiful. All right, I'm going to see if I can grab a quick link here and see who I can find. This is interesting. So the first thing that I'm seeing are big slabs of red meat. Big slabs of red meat. And I feel like that this is a man coming in with this, and I feel like this man actually had some skills in butchering. So that's an odd thing. So I'll stop and ask if anyone knows anyone in spirit, a male in spirit, who was able to butcher meat. Really, Elise? Oh, wait.
He just came flying in, but he was a butcher.
He was a butcher. All right.
Oh,
Alyssa, you have a butcher too?
I know a butcher in spirit. Yes.
yeah.
Oh my God. And
I
Adrienne
don't,
too. Oh my gosh, you're kidding. Okay. All right.
I don't
Okay.
know a lot about my guy though.
Okay.
Same.
Well, yeah, but that's okay. Let me run with it and see what happens because we've never had a butcher here. So let's see. All right. So this feels like a wow, I might be getting in my head out on that. So, okay, I was going to say he's a professional butcher, but I shouldn't say that. What I see him, okay, wearing is a white apron with that has the top, okay, and then it is also long on the bottom, and it goes down to past his knees. Okay, so does anybody understand the that style apron? Okay, so we got two. Adrienne, you understand it too. All right. Let's see. All right. Okay. I feel like this man did this for a living versus um, um, having other things that he did as part of his profession. Okay. This was his source of income. So Alyssa understands that. Elise understands it. Adrienne understands it. Okay. Come on. Give me something specific. Tell me separate it. Out of the blue, okay, I'm actually seeing fruit come in here. Okay, would there be fruit attached to this guy too? Okay, Alyssa, Elise, Adrienne, you have fruit attached to this guy too?
In a lot of different ways, but yeah.
Okay, how about oranges? Let's get specific on the fruit. Okay, Elise has oranges. All right, Alyssa, you have oranges with this guy. You got oranges. Oh my God, Adrienne, you got oranges too. Okay, well, what the heck is the significance of that? Um, let me try something different. Okay, I want to talk about a place where the butchering is going on, and this isn't a what's the word that I want? Like a back room in a supermarket. This is looks more like a retail shop that is really small. And when you go in, there are there's obviously a counter, okay, where the meat is, but more importantly, off to the left, there's a shelving system set up where there's like in odd food items and I want to say like seasonings and condiments and stuff like this, but there's the shelving on the left. So you understand that, Alyssa? You're muted, sorry.
Sorry. I understand the small retail establishment, like you said. So it would be in the back. Yeah.
Okay, you understand the small. Okay, Elise, do you understand the smaller shop? Okay, very very small.
It was smaller, but
Okay, but he's not a grocery store guy. Okay, all right. Adrienne, do you understand?
I don't understand that. It would have been a grocery store. I never saw it though, but I'm assuming I'm probably out.
yeah,
Okay, all right,
mine was
thank
a
you.
grocery store. It was just smaller. It wasn't a big.
Okay,
And
all
mine
right.
was
So
really
I
small.
think Adrienne's out, and I want to talk about this little teeny store that
Yes.
like I'm feeling so crowded in here. I feel like this would have held at best four people in the front. It's that small.
It's
Okay.
small.
So you understand that, Alyssa? Okay. Do you understand like really, really small with this store, Elise?
There is a small space, but the store is not really small.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling more like I'm drawn to Alyssa. So thank you for listening, Elise and Adrienne. Alyssa, I'm going to see if I can get a message from this man for you, because I don't feel like that this is somebody who's super, super close to you. I feel like
Right.
this is further out.
Yeah.
And you would have known him when you were younger. Would this be
I
correct?
never met him.
You never met him. Okay. All right. Why is he showing you as a child? He's not coming forward with that information, but he has a message and he's really wants to impart this. Okay, and he's saying, beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay, let's see if I can get more information on that. He's just saying, look beneath the surface of any offers that are made to you. Okay, and beware the wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, and I will leave you that with light and love. And thanks for letting me serve spirit. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, so that man was related to the man who came in during yesterday's circle with a similar message. So they're connected, and that makes a lot of sense.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, thank you for that.
All righty. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Alyssa. Okay, ladies. Well, fabulous circle as always. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shut us down with a prayer. If you would all join me, and everyone who is watching us on YouTube, if you would join us, please. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Thank you for this gifted mediumship that you've given us, and allow us to use this precious gift to help others who need your healing and love. Bless all of our friends and loved ones and protect them from sickness and harm. Bring joy into the lives of people who have sorrow, health into the lives of people who have illness, and abundance to the lives of people who have little. Thank you for the lessons that you've given us today, and help us to continue to build a relationship with you that is based on love and trust. And always, please help us to be the lights that change this world for the better. Amen. All righty. Well, thanks again. Okay, we are going to be broadcasting live on YouTube next week, same time, same channel. We hope to see you there.